If elections are meant to give people power, what happens when they stop doing that? Uganda's election story shows how complicated that can get. My name is Noreen and this is Real Africa Stories. You know how we're told that elections are the heart of democracy, that voting is how people choose their future. Uganda's election story shows how complicated that can get. So let me take you right back. Simply, Uganda held its first elections in the early 1960s, just before independence from Britain. On paper, that sounded hopeful, but almost immediately there were problems. Some regions boycotted, power struggles kicked in early, so trust in elections was shaky right from the start. Then things really unraveled. By the late 1960s and 70s, Uganda wasn't really doing elections at all. There were coups, military rule, fear. If you lived through that period, voting wasn't something that protected you. It was something that could put you in danger. Fast forward to 1986, when Yoweri Museveni came to power after a war. His argument was simple. Elections caused chaos before, we need stability first. That's when Uganda entered what was called the movement system. No political parties competing. Everyone was meant to belong to one national movement. Elections still happened, but without real opposition. In 1996, Ugandans voted for president again, but political parties were still restricted. So imagine being told you can vote, but you can't really challenge power. That tension never really went away. Then in 2005, something important happened. Ugandans voted in a referendum to bring back multi-party politics. This should have been a turning point. And in 2006, Uganda held its first multi-party elections in over 20 years. Here's where the pattern starts. Almost every election since then has followed the same cycle. Voting happens, results are announced, the opposition challenges them, courts acknowledge problems, but still say the results stand. Usually because the issues are ruled as not enough to change the final outcome. So researchers ask a different question. Not just did people vote, but was the playing field fair before voting day? And this is where concerns keep coming up. Things like opposition rallies being blocked, unequal access to media, heavy security presence, arrests during campaigns, internet shutdowns during elections or around elections. By the time you get to 2021, those concerns were loud. And now in 2026, people are asking the same questions again. So are Uganda's elections real? That depends on how you define real. Ballots exist, votes are cast, but many researchers say the environment around the election matters just as much as election day itself. Because when people stop trusting the process, even a peaceful vote can feel empty. And this isn't just about Uganda. It's about a bigger question. Is voting enough, or does democracy need the right conditions to survive? This is the Africa you're not shown, but I'm here to show you.